Buddy, I have missed you guys. I know I've been a little bit absent recently, and that's because I got some new hardware, and that's been keeping me a little bit busy. Got married and went on a long honeymoon, and Mark has been holding things down. So Mark, first, I want to appreciate you, dude, because you've been holding it down while we have this giant influx of new people. But we did want to have a year-end meeting with you guys and get a lot of feedback. I know it's important for Mark and I to put something together for you guys that goes beyond just an online course and an online educational program. It's important for us to give you guys three things: education, resources, and support in a number of different ways. And I think what we've started off with, and we're at about 18 months since we launched, Mark?
Yep, just about.
Little over 18 months. So we're still pretty new as a community, but I think that we've built a solid foundation, and there's some things that I think we can probably do better in the new year. But obviously we want to hear from you guys and hear what you guys are thinking and what you're feeling, what you like, what you don't like, what we can do better, all that good stuff, so that we can bring more value to the table. So I'm kind of stalling here a little bit, letting everybody trying to hop on here at the last minute. So if you guys are watching in the Facebook group, go ahead and hop on in here into the Zoom room so we can get some feedback from you guys. If you're watching in the free Facebook group, you guys can watch along and hear some of the things that our members are letting us know what they want, and then we can see if we can implement that in 2022. So if you're watching from the free group, welcome. I am going to try to monitor the paid group, the Facebook group. So if you can't join the Zoom call, but you have a question, let me know in there, and I'm going to try to monitor there as much as possible. But looks like we're getting quite a few people hopping on. Alan's having dinner. Barney, I see you guys driving. Who else is driving over here? Alvin, I see Alvin's driving. Emmanuel Lugo's got a cool setup. I dig it. Good stuff. Okay, before I get started, Mark, do you have anything to stall us out a little bit, to give everybody a little bit more time to hop on? I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the Facebook group is up and running, and then if you got anything, send it on out, dude.
I do not have anything to stall us, but I will ask a question that was a big debate in my house this Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And this should give us some time to stall. So I am of the opinion that turkey is extremely overrated for Thanksgiving, and I eat ham instead. I want to know if anybody agrees or disagrees.
Disagree. No ham. All team turkey.
All right.
I like steak.
Steak?
I like steak too.
Even better. I'll take a steak any day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like either. My favorite part is sweet potatoes, hands down. I think that should be like the main dish for every Thanksgiving.
You put marshmallows on your sweet potatoes?
No, I don't. No.
Okay.
And brown sugar.
Good. Eat them how they're supposed to be eaten. Anybody else thoughts? If you've been wanting to express your feelings on this, now's the time.
If it's turkey, it's got to be fried turkey, man. You got to have that guy, that uncle that takes it in the back and dips it in slow, and yeah, it's a whole different, it's a whole different turkey.
You got to risk burning down your house when you have turkey.
High risk, high reward.
Agreed. I feel like it's just always a little too dry for me. So
yeah, half the good thing about turkey is gravy. So like, I can put gravy on other stuff, and yeah, I'm with you.
Listen, y'all just not cooking turkey right if it's dry. My turkey this past week was literally dripping white meat, and it was fully cooked.
Perfect. Okay, so Joel, everybody's going to show up to your house Christmas Eve. You're going to have everything squared away for everybody, right? Since you're the master.
I mean, you can be here. I won't be here, but you can be here. That's fine.
All right, send us the recipe.
There we go. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and bring up, hang on a second. Let's get started with some shout outs. I think it's important to always start meetings on a high energy level, right? We're up here. If you want to be in our club, you got to come up here. We can't have you down here. You got to match our intensity up here. So, and I think that always starts with having some shout outs. So, I've got about like 10 of them. I'm gonna rifle through these. How about one of our pilot members, somebody who's been with us since the very, very start, one of the first 30 people, and now we're like 800 or something like that. 1,000 people have gone through our program, whatever it is. But Walter Escarzaga closed a $60,000 deal with a real estate agent, and that's going to start, and he's going to start filming that in 2022. So he's already got $60,000 on the books for next year. But what's really cool is that somebody had asked, who was it today, Mark, that asked about working with real estate agents, and Walter hopped in to help out?
I don't recall, but it was someone who just joined.
Yeah. Oh, I know who it was. It was Mario. Mario asked, hey, who's done work with real estate agents? And Walter hopped in and said, I'm happy to hop on a call with you and chop it up and see if I can give you some advice. And that's what our club is about. Walter's gone through our program. He's kind of reached that next level, and now he's reaching back to help everybody on up. And Walter, I see you, dude. I love that. Great job on closing the deal. Even better job at helping out the club, dude. We appreciate it. On a similar note, Ben Cryer, who's on the call right now. Ben, I see what you're doing, bro. Earlier yesterday, Louise had asked, he sent me a PM and he said, hey man, I've got an upcoming discovery meeting, strategy meeting. I'm trying to sell this thing. And is there any way that we could get some one-on-one time? And I was like, dude, I'm swamped right now. If I could bend over backwards and make it happen, I'd be there. Put it in the Facebook group, see if anybody can help. And Ben popped in right away and said, I can help you get prepped up. So Ben, my man, thank you. That is awesome. Everybody, round of applause for Ben. That's what I'm talking about. And what's cool too is it sounded like there was probably going to be about 5 or 6 people hopping on that call with you guys, right?
Yeah, it started out just the one-on-one, and at this point, I think we've got at least 5 to 8 other people that are going to be in that call.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what's special about this group. Everybody's helping everybody. I love it. Good stuff. On the same note, Dom Mann and Rich Krause, they hosted like 2 or 3 role play sessions last month. Awesome content. They're hopping in there. They're helping out, doing role plays, which I think is extremely important. It's something that we're going to talk about a little bit more here in a second, but they kind of got the ball rolling. So Dom and Ridge, thank you guys for helping out. That is awesome. Next up, Mark Antonio Smith. He put himself out there today. He posted today, put himself in a vulnerable kind of spot where he said, dang, man, I'm scared because I just got laid off from my job. And now I'm going to go full time and make this a living in video. And I think it's awesome that he put himself out there with our club and got a lot of encouragement. And honestly, Mark, like I said, dude, I think you're going to look back and see this is probably one of the biggest blessings ever, dude. Maybe it was just that push you needed to make it big time and get you to doing what you're supposed to really be doing in life. So glad that you're here, brother. We're gonna see it happen. I got some shout outs for some people that I've worked with recently. Adam Grumbo and Patrick Nye, they showed up they just brought the fire to my wedding and they filmed the wedding. It was awesome. They're in our club. They crushed it. I'm trying not to be like every other wedding client and saying, hey, where's my video? Where's my video? But guys, where's my video? Come on now. It's already been about 3 weeks. I'm just kidding. They did an awesome job. And then like the same week, Patrick Nye on last minute notice, I called him up at like 2 p.m. and I said, hey man, can you come and film a project for me tomorrow morning at 8? And he was there. He was all over it. He did an awesome job. So Patrick Grumbo, thank you guys for being awesome. Mason Kellum, he showed up to film a project with me. Last minute, I hit him up. I said, hey man, I need a hand on this thing. He's in Central Texas. I'm in Central Texas. We linked up and we made it happen. Mason, thank you for helping me out with that. And Ryan Harper, also last minute, I hit him up yesterday. I said, hey man, I need somebody to cover a project for me up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we worked that out. He's a new member. So Ryan, thank you for helping me out with that. Rodney, my man Rodney out in Albuquerque is filming videos and video strategy for my brother and my sister-in-law and their vegan food restaurant. They filmed yesterday and today. I am super stoked to see what you guys are doing there. Awesome stuff. And the last shout out that I'm going to put out, and then I'm going to open it up for some shout outs from you guys. But one of our newer members, and you guys probably all know him, Landon, by the way, hopped in the group and he landed, I think it was over $200,000 in deals in the last month. Super excited to see that happening for you, Landon. Obviously, we know you from your time over at FTF, so we're glad you're here and excited to see that you're blowing it up, man. So round of applause for all those shout outs, man. Good stuff. And I want to open it up to you guys. If anybody has any shout outs, anybody's had help from somebody on the call, not on the call, open up your mic and give us like 2 or 3 if you guys have them.
Walter helped me out, and he was the one that actually pushed me to get the course. So I'm a new member to the course.
Right on. Walter Escarzaga?
Yes, sir.
That's my dude right there. He's from the beginning. He's been.
That-
I love that.
He doesn't live too far from me, so we're trying to schedule something up to get together. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Good stuff. Let me know how that works. Okay.
All right.
I
Anybody
want to
else?
thank someone too.
Go for it, Martha.
Giovanni Garcia. I've been talking to him about approaching construction companies, and I think we're gonna land one.
That's
So
what-
I just heard from the grapevine that they're coming to us for a brand message video. So finally,
That's what's up. Good stuff. Way to reach out to him. I love it. What else? Who else you guys got? Come on, there's got to be more.
Oh, I mean, while you were gone, we had Camilo, Alan, Dom, Ridge, Jason. Like anytime we would have something, everyone would join together, and it ended up being just like something really cool. We had like a few just like awesome chats, and it was just cool that like you can go get married, take a little break, and there's still people jumping in to hold things down. It was really cool.
I'm gonna go on vacations more often now.
I mean, you should.
Mark, let's go. Let's double up.
I'm down. I need a vacation, so let's do it.
Let's make it happen. Good stuff. Okay, cool. Guys, keep collaborating, keep helping. If you've been in the program for a while and you're seeing results, reach back and pull the other people up, and they can pull the other people up after them. That's what it's all about. I love seeing that this is happening. Dom, I see you up there in the right-hand corner. Thank you for doing those role plays, dude. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Oh, Walter's here. Walter, you've been shouted out a couple of times, dude. I'm glad Walter's here. He's my boy. Love that guy. Okay, cool. I think let's go ahead and kind of highlight some of the things that we're currently doing as a community, as a club. That way, if you don't know that we're already doing these things, now you can know, and then we can go from there and we can add stuff on. Okay. And if I forget anything, Mark, let me know so I don't, if I don't skip anything. So obviously we do a lot of the live trainings. So we've been doing live strategy sessions where somebody has a potential deal and they come to us and say, hey, listen, I've got a discovery meeting or I've got a sales meeting. Can you guys help me prep up for this? And we try to come together as a group and hold a live strategy session. We haven't done one of those in a while. Trust me, now that I kind of got my feet back under me, we're going to start doing those again. So if you've done a discovery meeting and you can record that discovery meeting and you can bring it to us and give me a heads up, if we can put it together, we'll do a Zoom call just like this one, and we'll listen to the discovery meeting and we can come up with some ideas on how you can, approach your sales meeting that's upcoming. We've had tremendous success with this. I think probably Jake Hepting is the one that stands out the most. We helped him with a strategy session. He ended up closing a $109,000 deal with his city. And it was in large part due to the fact that we were able to throw a bunch of ideas at him and then he put it all together and went and pitched it and it worked. So strategy sessions, we will be doing more of those. Live trainings like the club throwdowns. So we did one where we spoke about a very specific type of industry. We did the direct primary care industry. And we did a 3-part training. So it took place over 3 days. We did a training on how to run a discovery meeting, how to ask a bunch of questions, what questions to ask. And we put them all on there. We listed them all out. Then we had a strategy session where we kind of figured out what the strategy was going to be that we would pitch to a potential client in that industry. And then after that, the 3rd day, we had a sales training meeting where we actually did a mock sales meeting. And Alan did a great job at stepping in and role playing. And I think that everybody got a lot of benefit from that. We're going to do another one of those. I have one of those planned. So that's probably going to be a home builder client because that's my wheelhouse. So would you guys be down for another one of those if we did them? Thumbs up so I can see. Awesome. Okay. So we do those. We'll continue to do those. Once we get into next year, if I can free up some time, what I think that I want to try to do is go meet and network with people in different industries, and I'm going to try to pick their brains as much as possible so that we can do these kind of club trainings, the club throwdowns with as many different industries as possible. But if you guys like those, we'll try to do some more of them. Okay. Let's see, what else do we do? Accountability sessions. I held accountability sessions for probably about 3.5, 4 months. And we were doing them one in the morning and one in the evening time, so we could try to get as many people into those accountability sessions as possible. I will say that there was less participation than I thought there was going to be. So I'm curious to hear from you guys. I'm gonna open up to the floor now, whether or not those accountability sessions were helpful and whether or not you guys would like to continue those going. I want to make sure that they're valuable time-wise for myself and for you guys, and we have enough people showing up. So if you guys did attend any of the accountability sessions, what did you like about them and how can I make them better, and was it worth your time? And you guys can just unmute your microphone if you have an opinion.
It was great because you gave a bird's eye view on, looking at your business and actually like sobering up and saying, hey, here's how many people I reached out to. And the next person say, here's how many people I reached out to. And if you're not reaching your goals, and you see the next person is like, okay, I reached 4 people, I reached 6 people. Then it's like, it's black and white that this is how you get to that next step. So it makes it really easy to say, okay, I've done this amount of work. These are the results I'm getting. This person's doing this amount of work or reaching this area, and this is success. It's a really good way to compare what you're doing to what the next person's doing, not in a competition setting, but to get a really good idea that it takes this to get that, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, and the accountability sessions, what I'm really focusing on is getting a really good picture of what your sales pipeline looks like. What kind of leads you have coming through? Are you advancing those leads from cold to warm to hot to closed? And are you meeting your monthly goals? If you're setting a goal of, I want to close 5 figures this month, are you having enough meetings? Are you pitching enough projects? Are you pitching enough strategies? Do you have enough leads in your pipeline to actually meet that goal? So I'm going to go ahead and continue those maybe through the month of January. Got to have participation in those though. Otherwise, if we don't have enough participation, I'm going to take that as a clue that maybe that wasn't as beneficial to you guys as possible. So I will put out a schedule for that. If you guys want to participate, I'll do one in the morning, one in the evening time. That way everybody has time to show up and actually do it. Okay. Will you guys be interested in doing that? Thumbs up if you are. Okay.
I do want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Martha.
They helped me a lot. Sometimes people could take it like, oh my God, all these people are making all this money and I'm not making all this money. What am I doing wrong? But to me, I use it as a competition with myself. And up until today, I'm using the spreadsheet that I created so that I could be ready for that meeting. And I mean, we've gone from just making about 6,000 a month, and now we're like at probably 12,000 in December. So it did help me a lot.
Guys, when I tell you that Martha really took advantage of the accountability sessions, I promise you that she put the effort in. And every time we have an accountability session, I ask, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve this week in your business? And Martha would give me a list of like 10 things. And I said, Martha, are you sure you're going to be able to get all these things done? And she'd always say, yeah, I'm going to do it. And the next week I'd say, did you get all these things done? And she'd say, yes, I did. And I'd say, okay, where are you at with your leads, goals? And every time she had this giant pipeline of opportunity of customers, and she started to really grow her business just because she was setting herself accountable. Everybody else was holding her accountable and she was getting it done, and it paid off. So I want to keep these going because I know the value of them. I just need to make sure that people are going to be there in order to make it valuable for everybody. So Martha, I appreciate you voicing your opinion there. Okay.
David?
Yep, go ahead.
Also, I will say I was at those ones with Martha too, and it was very beneficial to kind of understand how a sales pipeline worked, because whenever I first joined the group, I did not fully understand that at all. So then hopping into those meetings, seeing other people's, they're going to this many meetings, they're going to this, and seeing how you can actually get more sales using that pipeline and focusing energy on all parts of the pipeline, not just one client at a time. That was definitely very beneficial about those, and I will be at all of them.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's a good point. Too many of us as creatives, we see this giant up and down and up and down, and we get a client and we focus so much on that client that we forget about our sales pipeline. And once that project is done, then we have nothing to go to. Sales pipeline is incredibly important to every single business. So I'm going to keep those going. I'm going to keep pushing those. I hope you guys show up because I want to make sure that you guys are getting that value there. Okay. Next, let's see here. Interviews with people who have closed deals. So we've done a number of these. We haven't done one in a while. Did you guys like these? When somebody closed a big deal and we kind of opened it up to a question and answer session and picked their brains, give me some feedback. What did you guys feel about that?
Dave, I'd like to say something to that.
Go for it, Walter.
So I think moving forward, if we had, I know that we have Clubhouse and I know we have like all these tools at our disposal, but when I think it would be nice if we had like an easy and proven way to do this. So like I closed that deal with the realtor. When I posted about it, a lot of people were hitting me up, and then I would message some people, and then some people would message. At that point, I'm totally open, but time is so valuable. I would totally do one-on-ones, but I don't want to sit and answer the same questions for everybody. So by having a deal like that, jumping on a Zoom call, jumping in a Clubhouse, and kind of answering the questions, because I think real estate is a market that is it's a very difficult market, especially when we talk about marketing, but they're content monsters. So if you can get the right agents and pump that money, you can get that money going all the time. And I'd love to share that with everybody, but I'm so busy, people get lost by the wayside because somebody will message an afternoon. So like, you post it, and then when you post it, are you available for a Zoom call, and then schedule it, I think would be good, because that would force me to be accountable for it, and it would force the people that want to learn about it to be into that time space. And then obviously one-on-ones and offshoots from there would be good. But I know that for me was overwhelming, because I was like, okay, this person wants to do a Zoom, but I know Clubhouse could probably get more voices going. So that was my 2 cents with that.
I love it.
I agree with that, because it's not fair that you be dedicating all that time. And I think if you were to record that Zoom call, then I would benefit from hearing it, and it doesn't really have to be specialized to me, because it's real estate, and I'm going to pick the ideas and I'm going to use them too.
Yeah, and we all have something to bring to the table, so it's a great conversation. And that recorded Zoom call would be a wealth of information for current members, future members. It's documented, and I think that would be a really good tool to have.
Okay, let me make sure I'm understanding. So what you're saying is that we need to have a better way to set these up, so that way they're recorded and everybody can have access, so that you, as a person that wants to provide knowledge and information, you don't have to do it a million times. The power of video, we can record it and then you can watch it.
Right. And I think it's great, because we have, like something like real estate, obviously we all can benefit a little bit from it and take that knowledge and go on with it. And obviously to get into smaller conversations and spawn off on it, one-on-ones and phone calls are totally acceptable. But when you have, and as our club grows, there might be 20 people sending me messages all the different times. And it's like, then you're like, okay, I can't help anybody,
Okay.
And I don't want that to fall by the wayside. So we have a system. You post a monster deal, you make a Zoom call, you attend people, it's recorded, it goes back into the system.
Let me ask you this, Walter. I think that where we might be stumbling on this is that we don't have a streamlined process for this. So maybe it's when you guys close a deal, we have to have a better hashtag tracking system, so that if you post a deal, right, okay, you landed a $60,000 deal, we have a standardized hashtag system, which the one that we have now is a bit confusing. So maybe we can revamp that. So you can say like hashtag $1 million month, hashtag willing to share, or something like that. So that gives me the green light and knowing that you're willing to hop on a Zoom and answer questions from people. Then we can kind of schedule that out. Would that be, do you guys think that would work? Okay.
Could you add it as part of the course? Like in FDF, they have some, you know, behind the scene on like weddings and things like that, that you could see a case study.
Yeah, so we would definitely want to add these to the course, like in the actual course program. So maybe a new module that's specific to these interviews. I think there's a lot of information, a lot of value in these, extremely valuable. So let me, Mark, I'm making notes as I'm going now, but let's see if we can figure out a better hashtag system. That way we can track these and we can do these interviews a little bit easier.
Yeah, because if we jump on Clubhouse and we have all these great ideas go around, it doesn't stay in the group, and somebody can't benefit from that today, tomorrow, or 6 months from now.
Right.
And it can be a simple system, but I think that would be very good. And just one last thing, and maybe other people can. We have two groups now. We have the private group for people in the club, and then the other group. There's times where I want to share something specifically with the group that isn't private or the group that is private. On your phone, when you go to share, both clubs are called The Real Deal Video, and then it's ... and both clubs have the same exact logo. So from going to share it, I can't discern which group is which on my phone in the Facebook app, because there's no difference, because it cuts off the end of the title because it's so long. And they both have the exact same logo. So I have trouble. There's been times where I've not wanted to share with the world. I wanted to share with the private group, and I'm like, well, which one is it? So maybe a color change, or maybe you and Mark's smiling faces, something to discern. Like I look at it and go, okay, that's the private group, that's the non-private group.
Okay.
And that's my 2 cents, and I love everybody. Thank you.
Very good feedback, Walter. Thank you so much for that. Okay, we'll figure out for both of those. Excellent feedback. I love it. Okay. Very good. So we'll continue to do the interviews. Let me go back up to where I was at because I started taking notes. Okay, great. Spiffs. We do a lot of giveaways. We're about to give away another camera. We gave away a camera at the end of March. We gave away a Sony a7S III. We're going to give another camera away again. Giving a ton of gift cards away. We did a flash spiff the other day, and Trdvsc, he ended up winning access to Austin Paul's course. So I bought him Austin Paul's course, and now he's doing both simultaneously. Do you guys like the spiffs? What would you guys like to see better? What would you like to see more of prizes wise? What do you think? Definitely.
Maybe more like lighting, because I mean, you've only done a few and they've both been cameras, but just as you go, switching them up, some lighting, some audio.
Okay, I like it. You go talk to Scott Rippey, because me and him, we wanted to give away lights in this last one, but everybody voted for the camera.
Yeah, lights aren't sexy.
I went with you guys. Maybe this time I'm going to force you guys to be like, hey, lighting's important. So we're going to do that next time. Yeah, okay, cool. So we'll continue to do spiffs. I like them. They're fun. Guys, like I said, sometimes we'll do spiffs that are focused on you guys going out and closing deals, and whoever closes deals or whatever has a way to win. Other spiffs help us to grow the club and bring more people in so we can help more people. And I think that if we have a good mix of those, then that's awesome to have all the way around. So we'll continue to do that. If you guys don't know what a spiff is, if you're new to the club, a spiff is just a contest where we're going to do some sort of giveaway. A gift card to B&H, a camera, a variable ND filter, access to a course, something like that. So we'll
Hey, David, I got a question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for the spiffs that we're doing, at least from the ones that I've seen, and correct me if I've missed some, but most of them seem like it's reach this milestone and your name kind of goes in a drawing and then to be drawn. Is there any spiffs that are going to come down the line to where there's no drawing at the end? It's just whoever has the highest value of whatever the table is. I think for me personally, that's my pain point with the spiffs, because I can put in a ton of effort, and obviously, yes, I get a lot out of it. But if I, put in a lot more effort in order to, advance in the spiff, only to just have an opportunity at winning something, is not as much of a motivator for me personally as being able to see kind of if my name's climbing up the list, that I like, hey, I actually have a shot to win this, and it's not just kind of a higher chance of winning, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally makes sense. I try to build into the spiffs a way to have advantages or have more names in the hat, right? So if you do more, you get more names in the hat, you got a better chance at being drawn. I think that the initial opinion that a lot of the folks in the club had when we kind of started spiffs was that if somebody gets out to too far of a lead and it's only like who's ever done the most, then the people at the back are like, well, I'm kind of out of the game, so I might as well not participate anymore. And then it lost the steam of the spiff. Well, let me put some thought around that, because I've thought about that as well. Mark, do you have any take on that?
I mean, I personally, I would be where Joel is, so I can see where he's coming from. I can totally relate to that. But like you said, when we did the first spiff, we had issues with that. But then we've sort of had issues with the other way as well. So I think it's just something we'll have to brainstorm about and maybe
Yeah,
test
even
out
if
different
it's-
things and see.
Even if it's like a back and forth where like one spiff is this way, another spiff is this way. And I think that I obviously can't appease everybody, but just a thought.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's great feedback. Let me take a note of that so I don't forget. Okay, got it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a perfect way of doing it, so we might have to go from one imperfect to the other imperfect and back and forth. So that's really good feedback. Awesome. Thank you, Joel. I appreciate it. Okay, anybody else have anything on the spiffs?
Yeah, I think one thing that'd be kind of cool too is if we do like a spiff that's catered to like who can get certain industries. Like say for example, hey, this month our industry, because this industry is going to be very popular this time of the year, this industry is going to be roof repair because it's like hurricane season or something like that. And you get like an extra marker if you get a certain type of deal with them, or you book more than one, or that kind of a thing. It's just something that's seasonal. I know it's not like a patch over everything, but I'm just thinking like different types of stuff. Because somebody might be like, hey, it's hurricane season, so you definitely want to start contacting roofers because they're going to need the stuff at hand at a time. Let's put attention to that because that's a really good deal that people could really try out.
Let me put my head around that. Austin, I think my initial thought is, hurricanes don't happen here in Austin, so that might be, like hard for the folks in Nebraska to do. Let me think about that. Industry specific. Okay, I'll put some thought around that. I like that. Okay, cool. Next up, let's see here. What was that? Role plays. Did you guys like the role plays that Dom and Ridge did? If you guys were able to attend, Ridge, I see you down there. I gave you a shout out earlier. Thank you for doing the role plays, brother. I appreciate it. Did you guys enjoy those? Are they helpful? Do you want to see them continue and have a more standardized process with it and continue those for maybe different industries, different situations? What do you guys think?
Yes, I think it needs to be, which they've already mentioned it, but a little more of, we have somebody with a deal coming up and they've agreed to it so they can actually do the role playing. So that way, yes, everybody watching is learning, but also it's not just somewhat a waste of time. Like you're actually really benefiting that one person type thing. I think that would be very helpful with those, which I know they've mentioned already trying to do that.
Would
like
love
that.
to do that. Just need to ensure that everybody else is just as involved and wants to do that and lets us know. So if you guys want to do that, let us know. Otherwise, we'll pull from a hat.
Where can I watch the replays of these role plays?
So I think we've done a couple of it, or I shouldn't say we, my man Dom and Ridge did them. They were, if I'm not mistaken, live streamed into the group, correct? So probably just gonna search for them. But again, maybe we should have a better hashtag system in the role play so that if we have that, if we do it going forward, we should probably record those and upload those to the course. Because we wouldn't want them to go by the wayside. But I do, Mason, I do like the idea of having it for potential upcoming clients, very much the same way that we would do the group strategy session. maybe we can kind of bundle those up somehow, or we do a strategy session and a role play. Maybe that would work. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, good feedback. Ridge, Dom, what are your guys' feedback on the role plays? What do you think went well? What do you think we could do better? How can I help? How can we facilitate and make them the best they can be?
I think just your feedback, David, would be great to have your insight on the call. And then, like people are saying, we need to get people before we even start live streaming it to be ready to jump in, rather than having like that 10 or 15 minutes at the beginning where we're just like sitting there trying to like, hey, you want to do it, and trying to figure that whole thing out on the call.
Okay, I think with any content or any sessions that we have, one of the big things is we got to be intentional in this and be on point, so that way it's not an hour-long thing. Like if I want to watch the replay, I don't have to go watch an hour. Maybe it's 20 minutes, and I can get to the meat and potatoes of it and get after it, and then go on about my business. So I think being prepared for making sure that we have somebody up front that's willing to do it, that has a potential client coming up that wants to help, we could just make sure it's a little bit more streamlined. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Another idea, I was in one of them, and to save any like feedback towards the end, because during the middle I noticed like Ridge was trying to keep things on track and people were jumping in, and it got a little messy in the middle. So if it stayed between like say Ridge, Dom, and the one person that's doing it, and then everyone else either put their hands up or waited till the end, I know that's not optimal, but it might keep it a little more focused.
I like it. Yeah, sometimes if you go off the rails, all of a sudden you're way off the rails, and it's like, oh, let's bring it back in. Okay, cool. And Dom and Ridge, as we start to get these going, now that I'm back in the swing of things, I'll be able to hop on those a lot more with you guys, hopefully. Okay. Very good. Okay, we'll continue to do role plays if you guys like them. Next up, I want to go over some of our partners here. So all right, Jacob, right, he's balling out over there. Hey, Jacob,
you got to bring the party with you, man. You got to bring the party with you.
I told him to come up to this level, and he came up to this level. He turned it all the way up. Okay, guys, we have marketing partners that you guys have access to. They're people that we trust. They're people that we use. They're people that we vetted and we feel comfortable with. So as a video strategist, if you land a deal, but you don't necessarily want to do the back end running of ad campaigns, ad management, that kind of stuff, you have somebody that you can potentially partner up with and collaborate to be able to do that. So I'm going to shout out a few people, obviously, that we have in the club. Mark, the co-creator of The Real Deal, I think he's still available. He's a super busy guy because he's scaling a couple of businesses. But I think that if the project is right and it looks good, Mark, are you still available to help out?
Yeah, if the project's right. But I've been passing more stuff off to the other guys just because I think they can give more time to certain projects than I can.
All right, Michael Norris, bringing the.
Hopefully we don't have any trolls in this session. We just want to enjoy this thing.
How do we kick somebody out? He gone. Okay, sorry guys. Hopefully, and Michael Wright's leaving too because it sounded like the same one.
Thank you so much. I'll come to another
option. There's an option you can choose where people have to join in and read it.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking nigga, you fucking nigga, you fucking nigga, you fucking nigga.
All right, guys. Things that we have been.
Do they know their names are shown by them talking?
I think we probably got, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's been hijacked here.
Is there any way you
It's
can
good,
give it to
nigga.
all
It's good, nigga. You fucking black
the
nigga. You black
requested?
nigga. You black nigga. You fucking black nigga.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the session. Let me go ahead.
So I got your
Put it up.
David Verano looking like
Nigga,
Thomas
nigga.